Hi there, I'm Joe Needley and this is Serious About Rugby League. Now in this video I'm bringing you an edition of the Team of the Week of the first round of the Betfred Super League. Now this is something that we aim to do every single week, so feel free to just subscribe and watch these videos if you're interested. Now down to business, I'll begin with the team. First off, the coach. Now this was a very tricky one because a few of the sides recorded some big wins this weekend, and of course the coach is there to guide them to do it. Now new boy Christian Wolf had a fantastic first outing as St Helens boss. Now he has some shoes to fill, I mean considering the achievements that Justin Holbrook has done over the last 2 years, but Wolf seems to have slotted in quite well. After all, the big win over Salford, I mean 48-8, it was really something. It was a kick in the teeth for Salford considering they were grand finalists last year, but despite the result Christian Wolf doesn't quite get it. And neither does Simon Mulford, who surprised a lot of critics as his Huddersfield Giants side travelled to France and recorded a heavy 32-12 win over Catalan Dragons. But for me, the man who has been named Coach of the Week is Hull FC's Lee Radford. Now Radford has a lot of pressure on him this season. I mean, all the signings that Hull FC have made, they're expected to impress. Though some pundits out there have tipped them to not make an improvement from last year's, what they've called a disappointing 6th place finish. But Hull FC really came out of the blocks and surprised all, with a heavy 30-4 win over the Leeds Rhinos. The win meant that it was Hull FC's 4th consecutive win in meetings with the Leeds Rhinos, a very first in Super League history. It was also a first that they managed back-to-back wins at Headingley too, and also their heaviest ever win at Headingley in Super League. Well, by margin that is, 30-4, a 26-point win. And perhaps they owe Radford for that, well mainly for that, being the coach. Onto the team itself, the players. Fullback, there were a few contenders here. I mean, Matty Ashton, he had a dream debut for Warrington. I mean, his support play was fantastic, let alone his pace to burn as well. Then there was Lachlan Coote, who was going really well for St Helens, before he then unfortunately picked up his injury and was forced to sit out a large portion of St Helens' win over Salford. And then, of course, Bevan French, who was the man of the match for Wigan over Warrington on Thursday night. Maybe fortunate that for Wigan that Warrington did have Chris Hill sent off, but regardless, French, he really did slot in well and had a fantastic game. However, the man I've gone for is Hull FC's Jamie Shaw. Shaw was named the Betfred man of the match on Sunday against Leeds. I mean, he had a fantastic game. A try assist, of course, with Ratu Nalago's second effort. 8 tackle busts as well, and even 82 metres from 14 carries. It really said a lot about Shaw and how fantastic his effort was. So Shaw is the man named. Now the wingers, well, one of them was a pretty straightforward one. I mean, you can all guess that one of them is Ben Crooks, who scored 4 tries against Wakefield Trinity on Friday, as Hull Kingston Rovers managed to upset the apple cart somewhat with a heavy win over Wakefield. The Robins, of course, heavily tipped for relegation by many pundits, but they really did surprise all by not only defeating Wakefield, but quite comprehensively too. And they owe Crooks for that, having scored over half the amount of their points. He not only scored 4 tries, but 3 tackle busts, as well as 89 metres from 15 carries. Really saw him put in a sheer good effort. Joining him though, as I say, there were some contenders to join him. I mean, Jermaine McGilvray, 2 tries for Huddersfield in Catalan, fantastic effort as well. There was Joe Burgess too, he put in a good stint for Wigan, and Greg Eden as well. He was one of the unsung heroes perhaps in Castleford's first round win over Toronto in the double header. But the man I've gone for is Ratu Nalago. After all, Ratu, he faced a lot of pressure. I mean, up against one of the runners-up of the top try scorer last year in Ash Hanley, and of course on Conrad Hurrell's wing as well. He really did have his work cut out. But his try assist for Carlos Tumavave's effort was something special. The way he turned in 2 plays inside out, setting that one up, and bagging 2 tries as well for good measure did the speedster. In what turned out to be, well, again, dogged by weather conditions down at Headingley, but he didn't let that stop him, as Ratu Nalago had a fantastic game, and that's what edged him in there. On to the centres now. Now, very tricky one, this one as well, I keep saying that, but it was. Josh Griffin for Hull had a great game. Sean Kenny Dowell for Hull KR, he put in a good effort against Wakefield. But the two I've named, even though earlier he picked up a suspension, did Peter Matautia. But he's been named alongside St Helens' dream team player, Kevin Nagama. Now we'll come on to Matautia first. He did score a try, made 14 tackles as well against Toronto, and a staggering 139 metres from 15 carries. Really does speak for itself. Now as for Nagama, he bagged a brace of tries, as well as that, 82 metres from 9 carries. But what really helped him was the way he adapted to the wing late on in the game. After all, St Helens, he had to rotate a couple of players due to Coop's injury, but Nagama really did step up to the fore, rotated to the wing, and helped keep St Helens' attack fantastically active, and that's what earns him the spot, as well as Matautia. The halfbacks. Now, as I say, a few contenders here. There was Hull's Jake Connor, Warrington's Blake Austin as well, despite ending up on the losing side. I thought Austin was fantastic for Warrington against Wigan. And even Lee Gaskell, he put in a fantastic stint down in France. But the man who edged them out was St Helens' man of the match on Friday, Johnny Lomax. Now, Lomax has been a man of steel contender for quite a few years now, highly rated by the current man of steel, Jackson Hastings. But Johnny Lomax, his effort, 3 try assists against Salford, even 11 tackles, not bad for a half-back. But as well as that, 110 metres from 22 carries, that is an awful lot of involvement there from a half-back to take the ball in like that. And full credit to him for doing so. He really does deserve the plaudits for as such. Now, completing the lineup here is Huddersfield's Aidan Caesar. Of course, I mentioned Hastings. I mean, he put in a top game for Wigan, as did Mark Sneed for Hull. But as I say, the one who really edged it was Aidan Caesar. I mean, scoring a try, assisting in 2. And as well as that, even 3 attacking kicks for good measure. He really kept Catalan busy throughout the game. And as I say, it's Caesar for me there. Some fantastic work from him. And I mean, he was billed to be one of Super League's top signings, and he's already off to a fantastic start as such. Now, on to the prop forwards. Now we're shooing, if you can say that, was St Helens' Alex Walmsley. Walmsley scored 2 tries against Salford on Friday, even completing 16 tackles and 162 metres from 20 carries. Really saw the international produce some special stuff against Salford. Now joining him, this may be a controversial selection here, as Mitch Garbutt had a good game for Hull KR. Matagi as well, he produced some top stuff for Huddersfield, as did League South for Hull. But I'm afraid his fellow teammate, he came off the bench and he played like a prop forward, rotated there from time to time, did Andre Cervello, and he's been named at prop forward. Now, Cervello did assist in 2 tries, and there were something special. His offloads to both Bowden and Shaw learning them tries, but to come on the field, produce 22 tackles as well as 6 tackle busts and 119 metres from 15 carries. Cervello really was a top player on the night for the early birds. And after all, in recent years he's been dogged by injury, and this season he has a point to prove, and that's why he's been named as well. The second rowers, current Dream Team player Liam Farrell was named, alongside timeless veteran for St Helens, Zeb Taylor. Now this was another tough one, as Ben Murdoch-Masila, Manu Mau, even Tyler Heppy all had fantastic games for their clubs, but Taylor and Farrell really did it for me. Farrell, maybe he could have been the unsung hero for Wigan's hard-fought win over Warrington. Again, that they had to stand up tall in the forwards, and Farrell is no stranger to that. I mean, he completed 26 tackles as well as 114 metres from 17 carries. He really did put in a good effort there. Zeb Taylor notched a try for good measure for St Helens, as well as 20 tackles, 4 busts, and a staggering 131 metres from 21 carries. Zeb Taylor, I mean, still going even though he's in his mid-30s now, but fantastic effort from him to go strong even at his old age. Now the loose forward now, last but not least, as I say, Sean O'Loughlin had a good game, led by example you could say for Wigan, as did Michael Lawrence for Huddersfield and Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook for St Helens. But the man who perhaps edged it here was Castleford's Adam Milner. Now, Milner scored a try for the Tigers against Toronto, completed 20 tackles and managed over 100 metres from 13 carries. Sometimes it doesn't have to be something that's a game-breaking effort. It can just be hard work such as that to earn you the win. And that was the type of game for Castleford. They had a slow start against Toronto, but they really did overwhelm them. They came back strong, especially in the forwards. And for me, Adam Milner really was one of them special players for them on the day. Well, that is round one of Team of the Week here for Serious About Rugby League. Let us know what you think, whether you agree or disagree. If there's anyone who I maybe should have put in the team, leave us some comments, of course, on our Twitter page, Facebook, even YouTube as well. Just subscribe to Serious About Rugby League. I'm Joe Needley. Thank you.